You have to agree we have had gorgeous and temperate weather this week. However, 91 years ago, things were a different story. First came 4 days of torrential rain. Then came the Chesapeake Potomac hurricane.
The flooding that stretched from down in Cape Charles up to Cecil County set records lasting for decades, with some 50 people losing their lives.
Yeah, the story of the storm has been told many times, but Jim Duffy from Secrets of the Eastern Shore promises he has a fresh angle on this hurricane of 33 for a Throwback Thursday. We're glad to have you here.
Good afternoon. Thanks for having me.
Good to see you again.
So, what's this fresh angle?
Old trite saying.
Okay.
Every cloud has a
silver lining.
It does.
Okay.
So I went rooting through the old newspapers in search of kind of smaller human stories that ended happily during the storm of 1933. The first one I came on was in Hoper's Island in Dorchester County.
Yeah.
Now, back then, the crab houses, a lot of the crab houses were out at the end of long piers out in the water.
Okay.
And the boats were coming
in the water.
Mm-hmm.
So there's two different crab houses. One of them, the almond white crab house, falls into the water. There are 60 people working inside.
Oh.
At the time, this is during the storm.
This is during the storm.
Okay.
60 people are working inside. They all end up on the roof, floating in the middle of the storm. Now, it's not a situation in 1933 where you're calling 911, the fire department's busy.
Coast Guard doesn't have their speed
some watermen get to work. And the first guy who tries to get out to them ends up hitting a piling and sinking, and he survives. And then the second guy gets all the way out to them. And now, I don't know how big this boat was, but when I'm out on Hoper's Island, I don't see boats that can fit 60 people. But it must have been packed like sardines. So he gets 60 people on his boat. He's coming back, and he too sinks, but he sinks close enough to the shore so that everybody can wade ashore. And they all survive.
Oh, that is a silver lining.
Another similar thing happened at the A.E. Phillips Crab House, where everybody climbed up onto a second floor landing. A whole piece of the building broke down, and they too all ended up, there's like 30 or 40 people ended up on the roof riding the waves.
Oh, wow.
They got super lucky because the waves brought them right into shore. So it's like 100 people riding the roofs on Hoper's Island, and every single one of them survived.
Okay, silver lining.
That's incredible. Now, another story you're going to tell is Kent Island has a musical
Kent Island, yes.
flair to it?
Oh, you hit a nerve there.
This is just, you know how in the middle of the worst moments, sometimes something really funny happens? Yeah. That happened to a guy named Jack Thomas. Floodwaters are rising in his house. He is in the house doing whatever it is, trying to raise things up or move things to the second floor or whatever. When the floodwaters, so first of all, the furniture starts floating.
Okay.
Then the floodwaters reach his piano. And the floodwaters actually play the piano. So his quote in the newspaper was, "The floodwaters were tinkling the ivories while the furnishings were doing a jig in his house."
Okay, like that a lot.
And now you have a story about a missing girl in Delmar?
Yes, so that was Eleanor Hill. Now, same thing. Her family's moving furniture, doing everything, and you know that the parents told their 9-year-old girl, do not leave the house in the middle of this storm.
Right, yeah.
And they're going about doing what they got to do. They can't find Eleanor. They're looking, they can't find her. They put on all their gear and their boots, and they go outside, and they finally find her. She is in a drainage ditch with the water very nearly up to her neck. But it must have been very hard to yell at her for behaving irresponsibly, because on her shoulders was her beloved little cat. That's why she went outside to rescue the cat. And she did. Would you have yelled at her?
I'd have probably inhaled and stopped, right? Leave it to you to come up with the fresh angle and the silver lining.
I love it.
Goodness
Thank you so
gracious.
much. Jim
Thanks,
Duffy,
Jim.
Secrets of the Eastern Shore.